welcome back to Joleen Vlogs for a very special late night Joleen Vlogs. Let me know if you can hear me and that you're in the chat. Hello, thank you, Renee. Thank you, Jelly Donuts. You're so tired. I know. I'm still recovering from the COVID and I am on auntie duty. Still, I have my littles here with me until after the 4th. So they've been with me, oh my goodness, since the cabin. Then we did a quick hiatus stint in Vegas and I caught the COVID-19. When we got back, we were only there a couple days. And I've had COVID. And now today, Chell tested positive for COVID. So it's a COVID house. So far, the kiddos are good. They have no symptoms. But Uncle Chell is now in full COVID-19 as I'm recovering from it. So it's been an experience, not the way I wanted to have my littles here. But that happened. So that's kind of why I'm just doing this podcast type thing. I don't know. Let me know if you guys like this. I might kind of keep up this. I used to have so many podcasts. I had Married to Bravo was a podcast. I used to do this podcast with my friend Andy Erickson about mental health and physical health conditions called Deal With It. I had another podcast I did really not for very long called Moody Girl. I loved podcasting. And then I got into YouTube. And that kind of took off more than podcasting. And I stopped posting podcasts. But I like not having to turn my camera on. This is nice. But I did used to say, if you're going to be on YouTube, you better show your face. Okay? I know. Now Chell is in quarantine. He is. So, yeah, it's just been a bummer. But that's what we're dealing with. But I have my niece's birthday coming up. She's going to be 8. So we're trying to get him well for that because we want to do a little Stranger Things theme with just us. And then we have, we had so many plans we wanted to do with them while they're here. We wanted to, we're supposed to go to Carlsbad last weekend to the ocean. We wanted to maybe go to a national park. We just wanted to have fun, auntie, uncle, niece, nephew time. But, the COVID-19, I guess it is rampant. Rampant. Is that the word? It's rapid and rampant in Las Vegas because another YouTube creator who was in Vegas, some ex-hags were in Vegas. Speaking of Renee's question here, this will be interactive, guys, so feel free to interact with me. Also, don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Do the YouTube stuff. If you want to support the channel, I'm on my way to monetization. Very close. I'm just getting in the hours. Watch hours are very important, but I have everything else. So I do have, you guys know, I got my Patreon, I got my Venmo, Cash App, all that stuff if you like what I do. Otherwise, just hitting the like and subscribing is so helpful. So do the YouTube stuff. Thank you for all those who have subscribed. So apparently some of the hags went to Vegas. I think Holly White, TL, the one who's got guns allegedly under her cushions, and I don't know who else went, but I thought there was 3 or 4, and apparently TL has COVID, so I hope you're okay. I don't know TL. I've never spoken to her. I don't know nothing about her, but I don't want anyone to have this. Well, there might be a couple people. No, I don't want anyone to have this, you guys. I don't want anyone. I'm starting to sound better, I'm in full taking care of the kiddos mode. Hey, Breezy Girl. Hey, Shyla. And that's, I'm focused on getting well so I can hang out with my niece and nephew. But let's get to this. Okay. So tonight I'm making content for Sip and Key, right? I'm, working. I'm taking care. I'm being Munty, like Marlo Hampton from Roa. I'm a Munty right now. So I'm taking care of a 5-year-old and almost 8-year-old. My husband's got COVID. I got a lot of stuff going on. And I just, I noticed I had heard through the streets, thanks to Reddit, that Don't Tell Me Tell the People was having a Sunny, that she was going to be doing an interview with an ex-cottage boy, brown-fingered cottage boy, JY sub, okay? All this stuff is crazy. You're right, DJF. It's happening as I'm sick. All this stuff. I'm trying to go on vacation, and I'm being put in Instagram posts by moderator 148 saying I'm the reason that this creator, JY, is going to take himself out of the world But apparently he scratched his arm. He was doing some cutting stuff or something. I don't know. Yeah, and she's putting my name in, and I'm like, I'm on vacation. I don't invest that much time in other than just parodies and, trying to, I make you guys more interesting. You should be thanking me. But again, we talked about that mod 148. I knew she had control of JY's channels and his social media because she's the only one who would name me. Like I said, JY hates me. The brown finger college boy hates me and Busy so much, for shining a mirror on his bad behavior. But he wouldn't tag me in that. He'll hashtag me and stuff because he knows that as much as him and his hags want to say Joleen's irrelevant, Joleen is the only one in this whole saga who actually has TV credits. Joleen is the only one who actually has people pay to see them and perform. Not because I have to sad fish, not because I have to be on the internet and pretend I'm sick and this and that. I actually, am a paid entertainer. Not to toot my own horn, toot, but yeah, I'm think the only one. And so of course he's going to hashtag me because first of all, I had this with my stalker, they hashtag me because they want the first thing to pop up when you search for me, because I am a working comedian, to be videos that they create. And they also know that people do search me and search my name more than they'll search their name. Okay. Now I'm not saying people are going to search my name more than they're going to search the brown fingered cottage boy's name when he's having a full on breakdown. Cause come on, I don't blame you. It can be entertaining. This last one was a little boring in that it's like, oh God, we need new script writers because we got the same script happening. We got more, I'm going to leave. And you're like, oh, okay. See you later. No, I'm going to leave the world. And you're like, what? No, don't do that. What are you talking about? And I'm going to go to the hospital. Well, are you really at the hospital? I'm going to show you paperwork, but it's only going to be papers showing when I left, not when I came. So you'll never know. But I was having my period everywhere, and my husband put me in the car, and I menzied all over the seat. And you're just like, what? I always go with the old Judge Judy saying, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. Okay? So, yeah. So none of this stuff makes sense with the brown finger cottage boy. But I knew that this was mod 148, moderator trash can, because she has such disdain for me because she tried to pull what she does with people, what we learned even tonight on Sunny's interview, which we're going to get into, where JY does something horrific. She's involved, and then she messages people, he's not racist. He's just from Jersey. Oh my God, he's so cool. You like him. Me and my husband, who looks like a heterosexual John Yates, we don't think he's racist at all. And we're like, huh? She does that. She messages people, and then she plays the victim card, just like she did on Amber's channel when Amber let her up and Cheryl was up there with her. And Amber said, hey, Mod for Hate, what the hell? Why are you tagging us in the stuff? That's not what she said, but I'm paraphrasing. And Mod for Hate was like, I did have liver disease and it was stage 4, but then they said I could have 6 drinks and go to Atlantic City with a crackhead and that would heal me. And then, we're like, what? When Cheryl was calling Mod 148 out for faking, having stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver, which is pretty serious. And she made sure to be like, non-alcohol related, which, okay. And then remember, people forget, there was a whole time period of months. Cheryl brought this up. There was a whole time period where people were like, oh God, this is Julie's last stand. They were like, oh, Mod 148. Oh, have fun at Atlantic City. It's probably gonna be your last time. Like everyone was like, oh, pray for her. All about the tea. Monica, she was like, pray for her. Stage 4. And we're like, God, stage 4. Oh my God, really? And this was at a time when she's never likable, but she was very low on the liking, poll at that time. And then she was like, stage 4. These people pull out stage 4 like it's, a get out of jail free card. That's what they think it is. They're like, oh, stage 4. Yep. What do I got? Cancer. Yeah, pretty sure. I don't know. Did anyone tell you that? Not really. I Googled it. Yeah. WebMD told me that. Yeah, they did. They said it's pretty serious. So I'm just going to get on the internet immediately and tell everybody stage 4 and it's cancer, which again, cancer's not funny. You can make it funny. People have had cancer and have done stand-up comedy and done jokes about it for sure. But when you don't have it and you're pretending to have it, or you're saying you have it, or you're going out trying to gain sympathy and sad fish with cancer, It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. Yeah, she has stage 148 in her liver, in her asshole, I think. But it's crazy. It is it's crazy. Yeah, let's match those legs. Get those legs up, you guys. We got jokes, COVID jokes coming. COVID Joe is here, and she needs some likies. So yeah, we forget that Mod 148 was out there going, I'm dying. Yeah. And John was like, she's dying. I know, because I once pretended to be dying. Maybe more than once, So then we got this whole campaign going on right now. Feel bad. Everyone's got to feel bad for people who are, drawing things on themselves or something. I don't know what's going on. It's just, listen, I don't believe any of it. Hell no, I don't believe any of it. Show the papers when you went to the hospital. Show the blood in the Mustang. You got to show it all. Because the first thing you're going to do is go to social media and ask people for money and go to social media and announce this shit. We didn't ask for it. I didn't ask to know what you're up to with this stuff. I didn't ask for anyone to tell me if you're bleeding all over the car. You told me that. You got all these people out here grifting for you. Cash out. John, 369. Damn, you're fine. Yeah. Put it in there. Cash app. John Yates, 369. Damn, I'm not fine. Yeah. Put that down. Cash app me. Cash app mates. And it's just like, oh God. So you put it out there. So of course people are gonna be curious. We don't want to know. We don't wish a day in our life to know any of this shit. So he's like, then we went to the emergency room and it was real bad. And they stitched me up because I cut my butts. Bro. You really need to, we got ace bandages. The disservice they're doing to mental health is crazy. Like I said, I used to do this whole podcast about mental health, and there's so much stigma surrounding it. And it's just still so misunderstood. And now, people, instead of saying you're crazy, they'll say, oh, she's probably bipolar. Like, people say that all the time on the internet. And I do a whole joke about it because I was misdiagnosed as bipolar at 28 after going into a hospital. I admitted myself in. 28 was a really rough year for me. It was the year before I started stand-up comedy, a lot of personal things going on. I was just a mess. I've actually heard that from a lot of people, that 28 is a hard year for people. But I was never ashamed of my mental health or my mental health past. That's why I did a podcast about it. I'm sure there's episodes, Deal With It podcast, you can check out with me and my friend Andy Erickson, hilarious, has Marfan syndrome, and we talked about mental and physical health conditions and the stigma around it. And we just talked to other comedians and people with chronic illness, people with mental health. And we tried to normalize it and start conversations about it. And I really do miss that podcast. It makes me want to hit up Andy and start it again. But we had so much fun with that. We pitched it to Comedy Central too. I don't know why we thought Comedy Central would be interested in a mental health show. But we had a whole show where the talent guy, who is fantastic for Comedy Central, came out to see it. And then, he's like, I love what you're doing. And we were like, we're going to have skits, we're going to have this, we're going to have that and stuff. But, because you can laugh about this stuff. People always want to go, this is not funny. It's funny when it's done right. It's funny when it's not coming from a place of meanness or hate or to put someone down based on that. It's funny when people with mental health issues, which I think we all have them, talk about their own experiences. It's not funny when someone gets up there and rips apart someone lower than them with mental health issues for no reason. You know what I mean? They'll just get up there and be like, there's this lady and she's, that's not funny. There's ways to do it. Okay. Yeah. All comics are genuinely crazy, right? I always say it's the people who say they're crazy are the least crazy people of all. It's the people who don't admit they're crazy who are the real crazy people. I've always thought that. Okay. So I've been to the hospital. I did I think I was there 24 hours, and they actually in that time diagnosed me with bipolar. So I heard some people today say that wouldn't happen because he apparently got diagnosed bipolar and manic, which kind of hand in hand. Again, I'm not a mental health professional, but to have bipolar, you have to have some form of mania, which was the reason for my misdiagnosis. I never had any mania. I always thought of myself as just kind of, depressed, but didn't have the fun. And this is all in jest and fun, but didn't be like, hey, I can fly. Hey, let's go spend a bunch of money on a credit card. Let's go buy a car. Hey, I didn't have any fun nights of mania where I stayed up and was super creative. It just was I can't get out of bed. And later on found out, it was actually my ADHD, and a lot of women and young girls are misdiagnosed bipolar instead of ADHD. So there's so many interesting, layers to this shit, and it's still a great conversation to have. I'm going to pop myself a LaCroix because I got the thirst. Okay. If your mania forces hospitalization, is automatically bipolar 1. Yeah, they diagnosed me with bipolar 2, which is like, it was described to me as mood disorder. Hence why I kind of picked up this moody girl persona, and I did a brief podcast because, hello, I did a web series about bipolar called Bipolar Becky. You can check it out on my larger YouTube account, my OG YouTube account. It's a very old web series, but it was so fun. Chell and I wrote it, directed it, shot it. Our friends helped us. Our wonderful friend Jason was our director of like cinematography and filmed it, and Chell directed it, and we had all our friends act in it. And I have brown hair and I'm a lot skinnier, and it's silly and it's out there and it's not PC, and you can tell I was heavily influenced by Strangers with Candy. Okay. But yes. So yeah, there's lots of diagnoses we can give him. So it doesn't surprise me that a doctor said, you're bipolar and you got this, because that happened to me. And then years later, I was like, I don't think I'm bipolar. And they were like, you're not. You've never had mania. Someone who just sees you that one time briefly, probably shouldn't have diagnosed you. So there's still things within the mental health realm that we have to fix with seeing professionals and stuff. And I think it takes longer than one time for someone to diagnose you with something like that, in my opinion. And yeah, narcissism just, it screams narcissism. He screams borderline to me in a lot of ways with his inability to maintain relationships. I mean, he does maintain Cody, but I think that's just a relationship based on codependency and crack. I don't know. It's just not, it's not healthy, Okay. Borderline narcissistic. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, embrace your crazy. Embrace your crazy. Okay. So I understand a little bit of, so what he's doing is, it's really, when you have like, what it sounds like to me he had is suicidal ideations or thoughts of harming himself, and then he cut. But we all know the right way to cut and the wrong way to cut. If you're gonna, like, not to be graphic, but that's that's how it is. And we keep having a man who seems to talk about suicide a lot, but yet keeps cutting the wrong way. So is that just a self-harm call? Is it a cry for help? We don't really know. But we've had multiple times where he's described himself to be trying to off himself, but he's doing it the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? And that's not to be crude or crass. That's just the facts. He's cutting the wrong way. So he's self-harming for sure. And he might have suicidal ideations, but he didn't have a suicide attempt. So the language is something that he's using to profit off of. And again, no one would be discussing this if you weren't sad fishing and using this to get people to send you money for your Cash App, because your almost 40-year-old husband with quite the hairline can't seem to make a living on his own. They're like, what will Cody do? What will Chody do? I'm like, I don't know, work. He's a young white man in America. Everything's killing it for him. You know what I mean? Like, he's checking all the boxes. Okay. Even gay. You know what I mean? Like right now, gay is not like gay before. We have different, LGBTQIA. There's different struggles, but I would say that the white gay male, it's on the up and up as far as oppression goes. Not everywhere. And I know I'm speaking as a straight white lady, but I'm just saying, there's work out there for the white guys. Okay. White guys are still running shit. Okay. But Cody's like, but they're like, Chody can't. What's Chody going to do? Oh, who's he going to make canned peas for? Oh, so now we got to send them money, not me. Cause I've never hagged, never will hag, never hag or hag, no. So now they're sending, here's $1,000. And it's like, could Chody just get a job? Can we just get some kind of I will say this all the time, but there's 1,000,000 Five Belows. Who is working at all these Five Belows? They're always open too. I never go in them unless I'm with my niece and nephew. They love a Five Below. And nothing wrong with the Five Below. I'm just saying there's so many. And he gives me Five Below vibes. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and we wouldn't care about this if no one would have even known. Mod148 took this with John's permission, allegedly, the brown finger cottage boy, went online and was like, guess what? I'm special. Because Mod148 is a sad, sad story of a woman. She never had a little shine on her. She's never had any real attention. She's surrounded by cat feces, and she's like, I'm gonna save the cats. She probably squishes them. I don't know, but this is the only way she feels important, by enabling these problematic men, and again, after Cheryl's reveal, it looks like her husband. I mean, we saw the tapes in Atlantic City. We were like, oh, that's a JY of a different mullet, and it made sense why she was attracted to JY, because he's just like her husband. And these men are just like, you just been Dr. Ruth again. He's asking if I'm Dr. Ruth again. It's like hilarious. Yes, I have drunk relatives. I know what that's like. And she just, she doesn't like women, unless you fall in line and fall behind her. And she's very insecure. I mean, they were posting, there's been postings on some of these pages shared of the hags in their glory days, if you will, the high school. Okay. And let me just say, Mod148 has been struggling her whole life. So it's, she's on, it's like Pretty in Pink. She's on the bench at the dance, just waiting, sitting there waiting, being like, that cunt got a guy, just hating, instead of like thriving and being her best self, which she totally could. There's no reason she can't. She decided to internalize all her, well, she didn't even internalize all her failures. She actually put them onto other people, so it's your fault that I'm a gross human being, it's these women, they're seeing next Tuesdays, and I'm going to make friends with a guy who says he hates women because she's a pick-me. She's like, oh, he doesn't like women, but he likes me. He likes me. Okay. So thank you, Renee. I love that Renee always gets my freaking weird references. Thank you so much. Yeah, and drop that Cash App, you guys. Drop the Cash App. I should have named this Super Chat Extravaganza, but I can't Super Chat yet because I'm not monetized. But we're getting there. Yes, Danielle. Cody can clearly grill and flip late night burgers. McDonald's pays what? Hello. In-N-Out pays well. I don't think they have In-N-Outs, and I don't think his nails are clean enough for In-N-Out, but they pay well for fast food. Has night shifts. I'm telling you, pop some crack and get to work. Okay, pop a little bit of a little methy meth and head out to the job. Okay, I used to work at a gas station and I never did meth, but people that I worked with would go in the cooler and do whippets. I mean, that seems like the kind of thing they would do. Just go back there, work. You take smoke breaks. Back in the day, I'd have a little cigarette, be like, this is nice. Just real trashy Joleen, real trashy 19-year-old Joleen watching Xena Warrior Princess eating free, quote unquote, M&Ms and smoking cigs in the back of Super America in Woodbury, Minnesota. Just like, yeah. And then my coworkers are like, we'll be in the cooler. And then they did whippets and passed out for a second and then woke back up. That sounds exactly like what JY, and especially Cody, is qualified for. Cody, he could lift stuff. He could punch ovens. So clearly, if he can punch a stovetop, allegedly, then, he can lift some shit. You can punch some boxes back there. You got to break down boxes. You can punch them, get your anger out. I mean, it's a win-win, and some of those gas stations pay kind of well. All right. Go ahead on Pump 11. Let's get it. Maybe you can get a discount on gas. They're always complaining about gas prices. I'm like, oh, come to California, bro. It's like $6 something. And also maybe don't be a Uber person, food getter, especially since they've admitted to spitting in people's food. You got those lives on Reddit. So my point being, they're making what they're doing to mental health is blasphemy. Mod148 is just a creature from the crack lagoon. And she comes up and she's like, I'm here to save everyone. She posted everything and she was like, I'm special, I'm important. Joleen, I hope you're happy. Happy for what? I'm happy to be on vacation with my family. I'm happy to have my niece and nephew. I could give two shits what your crack friend's doing, okay? I don't have enough shits to give about JY or his life. I just don't. And I don't think any of you have to care either. Don't wish bad on anyone and move it along. Okay, this is someone who threatens to put children on adult websites. This is someone who's racist, misogynist, doxes, says essay victims deserve to be essayed. Do we have to give a shit? No. You don't have to be, politically correct with this stuff. You just say, I don't give two fucks about this dude. No, I don't. No, I don't. We're shining a mirror on your bad behavior. Am I going to have a prayer vigil for a guy that's threatening children? Nah, I'm not gonna. If that makes me a bad person, sign me up in the bad person list. Put me on the naughty list, Santa. I'll take my no presents. I'll take my coal and I'll stick it up my ass. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. Oh my gosh. Seriously. So yeah, Uber person, food getter, whatever. Thank you, Geneva. Thank you so much. I see so many familiar, great faces here. How many of these employers require a drug to? Ooh, I mean, crusty. Quit making points. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a mockery. He's like, he's got a nut house, a crazy house, and then he takes the first opportunity he can to imply that AT2 is some kind of child predator. How gross, dude. You, sir, are the only one who constantly talks about children and attacks them. I've never heard AT2 mention children. I've never heard him attack children. I've only had to hear him, unfortunately, have to defend himself against your bullshit. You're the only person, John Yates, who talks about children, makes weird references towards children, does icky parodies about children. I mean, that needs to be looked into. I still need someone to do a deep dive into that. You journalists, I need you to do that. Okay? It's disgusting. Okay. Margie and the Queen. Oh, so good. So good. So good. We have fun here. Okay. So moving on from Mod 148. She's a problem. She's horrific. And I think my original point too was that she had messaged me early on and I shared the message. Did I share it? Yeah, I talked about it. Where she was like, Joleen, when we started including her in parodies, after she was like in chats with him while he was like, Jolene's a fat bitch. See you next Tuesday. How come her ovaries don't work? Where's her kids? All this horrible stuff. And then she messages, then we include her and she goes, can you use woman to woman? I'm like, woman to what? Are you kidding me? Mod 148, you can't use woman to woman when you've never been there for a woman. Okay, feminism means I hope the best for you, but I don't gotta do shit for you when you're not doing shit for the rest of us, okay? That's not what it's about. She thought me as a feminist, I was gonna go, oh yeah, woman to woman. You have been shitting on women, making women's lives worse ever since pairing up with this dude, probably well before, because of your just pathetic insecurities that you have not been able to conquer, yet you're like 55 years old. Get some help. Get some personal help. So no, woman to woman, you sit there, you laugh, you fat shame. You have posts that you do on your personal Instagram called the See You Next Tuesday posts, where you call women See You Next Tuesdays. And people, it's gross. You're gross. You literally put my pictures on your stupid page. And we're like comparing our looks. Like, what is this, junior high? It's so ridiculous. Like, I'm going to go on my page and go, no, I'm prettier. No, she's prettier. Like, oh, bro, I get on a stage professionally and perform for people. I have a life. I have self-esteem. No. So it just, this woman is just tragic. So she sent me this message. Now I left her on read, just like I do everybody. I don't talk to the characters. There is very few a character I'm going to talk to. And she became a character. Once she was the head of the hags. She's the booty of the snake. And then she's like, everyone's fat shaming me. It's like, well, I'm not fat shaming you, but you definitely are fat shaming me and have been. And then we all saw you. And girl, that's why I had said to these women, these hags, then their pictures get outed and they're like, oh, and it's like, you are supporting two dudes with no job. You should be supporting women like me. I got a job. I can take you to Lane Bryant. We can buy matching outfits. You know what I mean? Like, have some self-awareness. Okay, or torrid. I don't know. Maybe you're living in the past. Okay, but seriously, have some self-awareness. You're literally supporting two dudes with no jobs. I got like 3 jobs. Okay, I'm making money, and you're literally, picking up crack rocks on the floor. Okay, so that you had your chance, but no. Am I gonna show you what? We're gonna, Somehow I have to women empowerment with the least women empowerment. I have offered my services through lives, which you watch clearly, saying, hey, don't be like that. You don't want to hate on other women. You don't want to these guys hate women. They're misogynists. They literally hate us. JY and Cody hate us. They kind of want to be us sometimes. They love wearing the wigs and stuff. But they hate us. They hate us. So don't support people that hate you. That makes no sense. But then again, you hate yourself. That makes a lot of sense. Makes all the sense now. Okay. Moving on from these buttholes. But Frijoles is here. Hello, Frijoles. Yes. All right. Yeah, still confused how you got roped into the latest drama. It was Mod 148 all the way. She dislikes me because she tried to send that sappy, like, hey, I'm not that bad. And then she gets these people to talk to her on the sly, and a lot of them do. And I was like, yeah, right. I wouldn't talk to you even if you were nice. Like, I wouldn't talk. You're just not my people. You're not my people. Juliana, you're not my peeps. You're not anyone I would surround myself with. That voice alone, yeah, ooh, good. Migraine City. No, thank you. And since I called her on their bullshit, oh God, you can't, when you call a bullshitter on their bullshit, and someone who is so fragile, she's never going to let that go. And now with Moderator Trash Can, and I as a caricature of her is more likable than her as a person, that's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt, So she just can't, she can't see the jokes in anything. She just personalizes it all, and she hates women. So I didn't reply to her message back in the day, and ever since then, it's been boom, death to Joleen, which fine. Thank you, Danielle. Welcome. Okay, so on to this newest thing. So I tuned in late to Sunny, but first, as I'm searching Sunny, I see Perry's live, and it pops up on my suggested because I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I subscribe to any of these people. Okay? I think maybe I subscribe to Sailor Moon under Sip and Key, but I try to, if I'm going to subscribe to people, I'm going to use an alt because I can't have it in my, it already shows up in my algorithm, but I can't have it constantly. I got to get other stuff done, But I check, and it popped up. And it said Perry, and it's like 800 and some people. I'm like, holy shit, Perry, what are you doing? And then I saw something about Don't Tell Me Those People. I'm like, oh, Sunny's over on Perry's channel. Cool. They're working together. She just interviewed someone who was a John Yates ex-sub or something, and I hadn't watched the interview yet. So I tuned into Perry, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? All of a sudden, I hear my name, Busy's name, my name, Busy's name, my name, Busy. I'm like, what's going on? And apparently, Perry said that this ex-sub, whose name is Jess, was talking shit on Cheryl. And I'm like, what? And then said, Cheryl needs to apologize to me. And I'm like, huh? I haven't even, what? Okay. And then, Cheryl's like, I didn't watch it. Perry's like, I did watch it. So you don't have to watch it. She's like, I won't watch it. I'm like, did she watch it? I don't know if she watched it. I never know with any creators anymore, And they're like, we don't want any problem with Joleen and Busy. And I'm like, well, me and Busy, we never wanted a problem with either of you. We were always like super kind when it went that way. Because we were like, Cheryl, don't team back up with JY. He's trash. But she did, and that's fine. And then whatever happened, and you guys know the story. But no, I don't want to know. Why would I want to go? No. But they were insinuating that this Jess was kind of inciting. So I'm thinking, oh, God. Well, first of all, who's this Jess? Second of all, why would she incite? And they're like, I think she's from JY's camp. It's probably someone from JY's camp. So I'm here to debunk the myth because I went and actually watched the Don't Tell Me Tell the People interview, which everybody go watch it. Great job, Sunny. I feel horrible that Sunny is getting the brunt of this. So then Sunny's on the channel. She joins Cheryl and Perry, and then they're just going at Sunny. Sunny, why did you let this person you're interviewing talk about Cheryl? And Sunny's like, well, she didn't really say Cheryl. I knew she was talking about me. And then, Cheryl's upset because she thinks someone's low-key, I don't know, trying to go behind her back and shade her. And then Perry's like calling her a bitch, which Perry, we got to calm it down on the bees. My God, with this bees, what is up with these bees? I wouldn't want my husband to be calling people bees, So, but I'm not here to tell a grown man how to live his life. Not that grown man for sure. Okay, so I'm just like, what the heck? And then Sunny's just like, no, I think it's been blown out of proportion. Like, it's not being blown out of proportion. And you can tell Sunny, she's very, I don't know her, but she, from what I see of her, she's very cool, calm, collected. And she's just like, no, no. And Sunny has always had, it appeared to be a great respect for Cheryl. So I'm thinking, oh, fuck. Sunny is getting roasted for this. Oh my God. So I go watch the actual interview. And I recognize the voice of who the person is. I'm not going to say who the person is. Do I know this person? I know of this person. Have I met this person in person? Yeah. Do I recognize the voice instantly? For sure I do. Am I going to out this person? Never. I had no idea any of this was going to happen. Okay? Because people don't clear stuff with me. This isn't like my best friend. Everyone's like, Jolene's so close to this person. Do I enjoy this person? Hell to the yeah. Have I had conversation with this person? Has this person come to my comedy show? Yeah. Yes, that's all I'll say. But I had no idea. I was like, what the heck? Apparently she's been talking to Sunny for a while. So I'm like, cool, So I listened to the interview and it was so taken out of proportion. I think I don't know, people are at like the height of sensitivity or something right now. So originally who this person I think they're talking about, because I know from previous comments this person has left on videos of mine, I think they were talking about Heidi Black at first. So we're saying someone owes Joleen an apology. I think she's talking about Holly White, because she always leaves comments saying Holly White owes Joleen an apology. Because if you remember, Holly White did me so dirty. She did Busy so dirty. Holly White went over to our Stalkers channel, encouraged all of JY's people to go over there right before I lost, the sponsorship that I had with Tritopia, who's now out of business, RIP. Maybe you shouldn't get me. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, RIP. And she went over there and became a mod instantly. And then started touting, being like, yeah, JY, you should listen to this guy. They're stalkers. He knows how to handle Joleen and Busy. Yeah. And basically, I mean, if Holly White ever tries to convince anyone she's a good person, she's not. She's horrible. So she went to our Stalkers channel, became a mod, started to try to get JY, and the other mods went over there. 1-4-Hate, Cooch went over there. Cooch is still a mod over there, as he would just say the most horrific things about me and Busy. Just a real sick guy, okay? And then they all worked together to get the sponsorship taken, because I have the screenshots and saw in the chat of them being like, yeah, we're going to take everything from Joleen, and then John Yates had previously said, I'm going to take everything from Joleen. And then our stalker took credit for taking down the sponsorship. One of his mods, one of his lady mods, they replied to her tweet, and they had been messaging saying I was racist, because my stalker went with some false narrative that I was racist because I recommended my subscribers read the book White Privilege if they want to be a white ally. It was a recommended book. I read it. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. So people asked me, I told them. And also he took something and made it into this thing because he just wanted to build a narrative. And you can see he's got a whole playlist. Joleen is a racist, where he just false narrative. He's a bad faith actor and a horrible person. And they went over there gleefully. Holly, 1-4-Hate, Cooch, they were like, yes, take Joleen down, that evil bitch. She's the racist. So then Holly took this information. She was on our Stalkers lives constantly, like in the chat. And she'll be like, oh, I'm busy working. I don't know when you work, lady, because you're at a nickel machine or spreading hate on the internet and forgiving problematic white men and saying they're not racist until it doesn't suit you anymore. Okay. So I don't know when the hell, you're picking food out of your teeth and drinking red wine and talking about your clitoris. When do you have time for a corporate gig? But, some people are very good at multitasking. Okay. So Holly White's over there. She's glee. There's, oh yeah, fuck Joleen, that bitch. Yeah. Go real life on her, So then she takes it back to JY. And I slowly start seeing John Yates start spreading this Jolene's racist. And then he takes it like he does with crack, and he wraps it in a meth sandwich, and he says, Joleen said the N-word. And yeah, she has racist tweets. And it's like, he totally just made stuff up because that's what he does. That's why he's not a good blogger. That's why All About the Tea's not a good blogger. They just make shit up. Okay. And so in his breakdown, when he does say the N-word, he's actually saying, Joleen can say it. Joleen can say, and he says the word. And he just made that up because our stalker was like, Jolene's racist because she reads White Privilege, which is actually a book for white allies. And I didn't know whether this certain YouTuber was referred to as a YouTuber, blogger, content creator, podcaster. I didn't know. So I go, or whatever they're called, or she called. And he took that as like me doing a white person thing and doing they. And he's a bad faith actor. He himself is like extremely problematic and like bows down to problematic white people. And he regularly in the community, we the show we talk about, Big Brother, just calls the black women on the shows bitches. And when the cookout, which was the first all black alliance, the first final 6 black contestants, the first black winner, he was just, of course, he took the side to talk bad about them. And so he's been called out in the community for years for just being this bad faith actor and being, I know that, black people themselves can't be racist, because race plus power equals racism, but he's definitely benefits from that crowd, if you will. Okay. The book is White Fragility. Yes. Thank you. I always say white privilege, but it's white fragility, COVID brain, white fragility. That's the book. And then one of my fantastic subs sent it to JY to educate him. And then he's like, Joleen sent me the book, White Fragility. And that turned into a thing. So it's just, these people are cuckoo. But I don't, for me, it's like, I don't got to hit the live right away and go, no, I didn't. Because it's like, it's okay if you're going to believe the personification of crack, then you deserve what you get, Yes, Shyla, White Fragility is a book about acknowledging internal bias and white privilege. Like yes. But you see, our stalker at the time was trying to take down me and Busy by any means necessary. So painting me as the opposite of as I am. I like being anti-racist. I enjoy being a feminist. So to paint me in the opposite light goes against my brand, for lack of a better word, and makes me look bad. And that's what he was trying to do. So he does to a lot of people. And the hags and them jumped on this. And so then they started, Joleen is right. So Holly White was then saying, you'd hear her in streams. She'd pop up. She'd be like, Joleen's racist. And it's like, huh? Because some crazy man who lives in a subscriber's garage told you that? Okay, cool. Holly knew. She knows. She just did that because she was mad because me and Busy called her out. Because she was literally sitting next to the Ku Klux Klan on a regular basis. She was like, oh, hey, do you need me to fix your white hood? Like, she literally was sitting next to David Duke on the regular, co-signing for him. He'd say the N-word. He's not racist, nah. He would call Busy and they, nah, I'm racist. Every time he did something problematic, the microaggressions, people forget the parody he did of Busy. People forget the amount of times that John Yates made slave references to Busy. He would do this massa thing. Like he would do this talk. It was disgusting. And these hags would sit there and go, it's so funny. And Heidi Black would be like, it's so funny. It's like he's equating Busy to a slave and me a slave owner. That's what he's equating our friendship. He finds that funny. And he finds it true. And he thinks he could say it. And he was so proud of himself for saying it. And they never called him out. So me and Busy would call out Holly White on the regular. It started in our parodies where we would just laugh about Heidi Black because she would sit so low in her chair. I mean, it was literally grandma's gone wild on the internet, but no nipples, but I'm sure Holly wants us to see her nipples. She's like that, but allegedly. But she would sit so low and there would be all this open space for her head. And then we'd be like, oh, Holly's our favorite, because that's what you do sometimes when you're making fun of people, parodying them, if you will, when you're, when you're doing crowd work. Here's a little inside. I think I've told you guys this before, but like an insider tip for comedy. you'll see that if there's like a heckler or someone that you're kind of roasting from the audience, you'll hear the comedian might say something nice about them and then go with a jab and say something nice about them. And that's kind of the method I use. It's like compliment stab. Because if you go too hard on someone, you can lose the audience, so there's a fine line when you're doing that sort of thing. So you'll hear me and Busy go, oh, we love this person. And we don't. We're team nobody, team no one. Okay. So most of them were making fun of, at the time, Heidi we didn't know much about her. She actually seemed okay. She just sat really low in her chair and she was like, John, read the positive comments. We're like, this grandma's nice, and then she just became more and more problematic and hateful, and then she would just be like, fuck yeah. And you're just like, whoa, God, you should point that towards David Duke, who you're going live with, John Yates, but she didn't. And we started seeing this, and then she would call out Busy and say awful things about Busy because he was being like, come on, as a Black woman, like, what are you doing? Like sticking up for this known racist, as she one time said that Bamsy Amsey lady wasn't racist. And then sure enough, that Bamsy Amsey said she wanted to curb stomp her. And then Holly's like, she might be racist. And we're like, yeah, everyone told you that. We knew. We already knew, Heidi Black. So I think Jess was talking about Heidi Black. I don't think it was Cheryl in the beginning. Now at the end then, first I'm listening, I'm like, oh my God, she wasn't talking about Cheryl at all. And then at the end it was like, oh, that's definitely about Cheryl. That's her opinion. Do I think that is going to ruin the JY movement? No. Do I think Sunny should be responsible for that? No. Is this going to ignite me and Busy against Cheryl and Perry? No, because me and Busy never wanted to go against Cheryl and Perry. We never had an issue with them. We were just like, what is this big channel doing with this Yahoo over here? No offense to Yahoo boy, but what are they doing with this guy? What's with eye bags? He burned you once. You gonna take him back? It made no sense. Do we think Cheryl? And I also don't agree with Cheryl just jumped in when the work was done. I think Cheryl, knowing what I know, which isn't much because I've never spoken to this woman in my life. The only time I've ever spoken to her was when she joined the first live me and Busy ever did about this. She called in to my channel. We called it like sipping tea or something. Not even sipping tea. It was like tea time with Busy and Joleen. And we were just covering JY versus Cheryl when they had their first blow up when JY and Cody outed Perry as her husband. Which at that time, I didn't even know who JY was. I knew who Cheryl was, obviously. She's the big YouTuber, I didn't know who JY was. And if you watch that first video, which is still out there, you'll definitely see that I was, at that time, if there had to be a team, I think I said I'm Team Cheryl if there has to be a team. And I think Busy was like, no teams. And I was like, wow, how am I going to, first of all, I never got on the internet to disparage Black women, like, especially Black creators, and Black women creators. No. And to see this like white cracky going at her, I'm like, no, ew. So it was always this weird misunderstanding. And I think one thing that I wish she would have done in this situation with Sunny is watch the video. How Perry feels or whatever mood Perry's in at that moment, it doesn't speak for you. That's your husband, of course. I get it. If my husband was like, someone said something that was mean about you, I'd be like, well, Chell is the voice of reason in this relationship. But I also would watch the video myself. And if you watch the video, see that Sunny did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. Please, for the love of God, why are we dragging Sunny? She did nothing wrong. Jess brought up the Cheryl thing toward the end. That was her opinion. She felt like Cheryl jumped in toward the end when Danny did most of the work. And we know there's no love lost between Danny and Cheryl. But who cares? Everyone's working together on the canceled JY. So it was weird. And I can tell you, Jess is not, as far as I know, working with JY behind the scenes. If she is, she's good. Like, good. Okay, and I think if, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I don't even know how a person like her ever started I didn't even know she DM'd him, I don't think. Maybe she told me in the message along the way, but I can't even imagine her DMing someone. Having met her in person now, seen how beautiful and together and smart she is, I'm like, why would you DM it? I don't understand what his poll is. The first moment I saw him, I was like, ew, yuck. And maybe because I'm used to being around addicts and I have a lot of family members that are like him, just like white trash. So, you know, maybe I'm used to that. I'm used to these kind of grifter. I got uncles that look like him. They're like, everything is everyone else's fault. Oh, I can't pay my child support. Oh, you know, oh, I'm expected not to hit my wife. And you're like, yeah. Okay, I can't rob my own dad. No, please don't, especially when he's sick, you know. So, I mean, the Lunzer blood isn't the best. There's half good, half bad. We got some real stinkies, you know. So, so that right away I was like, I don't get the appeal of this dude. But I think when I listened to the interview, it did seem like, you know, Jess had Wi-Fi connections. She did seem a little nervous, which surprised me. But maybe because she doesn't really go public and talk about this. And then people were like, is this the same Jess that left the comments on Sip and Key? And I don't even know if it is. If it is, it makes so much sense because she's smart and she's clever. And those comments were smart and clever and funny. So it makes sense if it is her. But she didn't admit to it. I've never asked her. So, but I think the Jess that leaves our comments is like Jess Blee. But this Jess knows about the community. So everything she was saying, she made great points about JY. She's got a good read on the situation. She goes way back, further than me and Busy go with this situation. Okay, so I didn't think it was the same Jess. So Geneva, you probably know. Maybe you don't. Who this Jess is. I mean, I do. And, you know, we're not going to dox anybody because I would hate that for her. But she likes us, you know. She's very supportive of Busy. She's very supportive of me. Like I said, I've met her at a comedy show, you know. So there you go. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to say anything else. She's been nothing but a nice, kind, supportive person to me. But she did seem nervous. And when I noticed it when she was telling the story because I knew about this. She was telling a story about Pet My Rock and how Julie, Mod148, spread false information she knew to be false, which, hello, welcome to Julie's life. She does that along with annoying people, along with inviting you to home sales parties. You know, Julie's that type. You know, she has been in some home sales. She's like, oh my God, LuLaRoe, it's so soft. And you're like, Julie, they smell like mold. What's wrong with you? You're in a cult. It's not a cult. They're juicy, soft leggings, you know. She's probably been like, this Leah Sophia jewelry is great. Thanks for coming to my house, you guys. Oh, I thought this was a party, Mod148. Well, first, check out these sterling silver hoops. And then your ears turn green the next day. I could see Mod148 doing home sales parties and having no good snacks and not even providing drinks and tricking people into thinking it's a party. Okay? All right. So yeah, it's a mess. Okay, so when she was telling that story about Mod148 knowingly taking this information about Pet My Rock and saying it's Cooch, knowing it wasn't, she said in the interview, Cooch said it was Cooch. And I saw Cooch in the chat going, what did I say? But it was really Mod148. So she was kind of mixing up names. And I think that because of the Wi-Fi connection or whatever was going on, and maybe she was in a tunnel, the longest tunnel ever. I'm not sure. Maybe she was in front of a lawnmower. I don't know why that would screw up your signal, but you know what I mean? Like anything could happen. Maybe she was at, you know, Yogurtland. Wherever she was, the Wi-Fi sucked. And so she was kind of messing up some of the things that I already knew like that and the names. And so I think that, you know, that and maybe, I mean, listen, if you don't want to be involved in this, if you don't want to be outed, if you want to have a healthy life, you definitely want to stay anonymous. These people are weird. I couldn't believe that I'm just like turning on the live and I'm like, me again? Jeez, God, you guys, come on. I do the funs, the comedy, the haha, the chuckles, you know, the chuckle fucker. I'm not gonna, no, what is happening here? No, I make it nice. I'm Dorinda Medley in this bitch, okay? Who also might have a drinking problem, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it was Andrea, you know what I mean? Because that was some Andrea Wi-Fi Atharella, if I've ever seen it, okay? Atharella, do I not have you as a mod for this channel? I gotta start modding my mods. So yeah, that was some funny Andrea Wi-Fi. And I could tell she was, sad about it. She's like, sorry, chat, because she knows she's gonna get roasted for that. Because she's been in this community long enough. She knows what happens. She explained, she had already been bullied and outed in the JY circle. So they tried to out her in the JY circle, I should say. So she's aware of how this works. So, it's when you come out and you're not a creator, she doesn't have a channel, she doesn't have stuff like that. So, you have a lot to lose. She's a professional. She's a very successful woman. So of course, she's gonna, oh, you are a mod. Okay. Who do I need to make a mod? I think I need to make Care Bears. Care Bear here? Okay, let me know if one of my mods is here and they're not already modded. You're the mod of Sip and Key and my other channel. So yeah, maybe it was more of a personal thing. Her and are both ex-JY. Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't know. I would watch the Sunny interview, just like Sheila's saying. I went and watched it a second time, and not one person said anything bad. No, I don't. I just wish Cheryl would have watched it. And I get, if someone insinuates something about your wife, you can be mad. Yeah, if someone was talking about Chell, I'd be mad. I mean, they do talk about Chell. My stalker said that wanted to see his papers. I mean, it was so gross. The xenophobia is so gross. Asking for my husband's papers. And this is the person that JY, no, I mean, obviously no surprise, and Mod 148 and Heidi Black and Cooch were supporting a guy who was asking for my husband papers because he's Mexican. Assuming that he has something to prove and saying, I deserve to see your husband's papers. I'm an American. It's like, so's my husband. He was born here, born in California. What are you talking about? And he's more successful than all you losers. And he does more good in the world than all you losers. All you loser men who call him out. But this is who they supported. And they were like, yeah. It's disgusting. So, I mean, it's so gross. They're so gross. So when JY was asking for Rabbit's papers, I'm like, this is what he does. This is what they do. Yeah, that was crazy. Renee remembers. I mean, my stalker went all in. He was like, Joe, like my husband would ever talk to you. Gross. Leo. That's why I don't talk to most of the characters. Gross. I don't want to ever be associated with most of these people. I'm friends with Busy and you guys. That's it. Mod 148 did not ask for my husband's papers. My stalker did. It's a crazy guy that has a channel. And Mod 148 went over there with Holly White and Cooch, and they got modded and they were supporting that. And then JY obviously supported him. They thought he was great. So, yeah. And Cooch is still a mod. And when I talked to her on the sipping case, she was like, maybe I need to think about that, but I think she's still a mod. Danielle says, for Perry to go live with Cheryl on a panel to drag Sonny over some silly comment made by someone else. It felt very JY. It was really weird. It was weird. Sonny didn't deserve it. Jess had her opinion about Cheryl, but your wife has a channel with 300 and some thousand people. That's like Chell hopping on every time someone says something bad about me. I mean, he'd be on for a while. I mean, unfortunately, that I could see if Jess was like someone who was harassing her, but to just have an opinion, she thought you jumped onto the fight later. Who cares? She thought Danny did the legwork. She thought you do that sort of thing. That's her opinion of you. It wasn't even anything mean. But she wasn't insinuating. I just know she was talking about Heidi Black. She was not insinuating that you owe me an apology. I think she says, because Holly does owe us an apology. Heidi Black, you owe me and Busy the biggest apology. You owe a lot of people an apology. You were one of the grossest hags to ever hag. I'll never forget how bad you were. Yeah, and the stalker's a CBS affiliate at that. It's horrible. Thank you, Pamela. For me, I don't always want to use my skills, like editing, things like that, because let's be honest, they're not great skills, but in this community, they're skills. I'm like the Steven Spielberg of the JY community, okay? I am pulling up some Titanic type shit because these people can't even figure out a screen share half the time. So just adding sound effects and stuff, they're mind blown, So I feel very special. But I also I didn't want to waste a lot of my time on this. But I think it's, the more I think about it, I do think a lot of this is for a good cause, because we have someone who's so problematic, and I'm definitely someone it's the Aquarius in me. It's like justice, justice. I just don't, especially problematic men. Oh my God, I eat them for breakfast and shit them out later. Like oh God, there's this, I hate a bully. I hate a problematic man. I hate misogyny. I fight it. I hate racism. Oh, and then you go after kids. I can't sit back, Sometime, eventually I will pull back from this hot mess express because Jesus. But I feel like the any good we've ever done has been for you guys, has been for the wonderful people of Reddit, has been for people who have been fighting this fight a lot longer to expose just a horrible dude who does not deserve a platform to take advantage and hurt more people, And I did like that Jess mentioned, because I do think me and Busy sometimes everyone's getting all the shine, but we don't need a lot of shine. We just like each other. But, they forget that you just got here, and I'm glad a lot of people woke up, but me and Busy have been on this shit for a while. And I think some people, give us I think we earned a little bit of respect, if you will. But we've been calling out this shit from day one. Day one we saw it, and we never tried to befriend these idiots, So, and just like Jess said, we did it in just a more palatable way. We did it in I like how she described it, a after school special way. We used our skills, the gift of gab and comedy, to shine a light, mirror, and also give people a little relief, a little reprieve if we could. We weren't always successful, but we tried. And then we were able to, grow our friendship in it. And, it's taken us on a weird, twisty turn. I never thought I'd be in a community on YouTube where people were bringing me up. Like, it's so weird still, because it's like not healthy, but also surreal when you haven't had nothing to do with any of this stuff and you hear they're trying to create problems between me and Joleen and Busy, and Joleen and Busy, me and Joleen and Busy. And I'm like, oh no, I'm never going to have a problem with Cheryl and Perry. I never did. The only problem that came was when Cheryl thought we were doing, I don't know what to her. And I think, she said it was because she listened to JY. But I always thought, wouldn't you listen to Busy? You knew him, but those times have passed. And I'm not sitting here waiting for an apology from Cheryl. I'm not, I'm not. I'm over that. I really am. I don't need anything from Cheryl. I don't need anything from Perry. I never did. I just needed them not to come for us. That's it. I never wanted to go on Cheryl's channel. I never wanted to talk to Cheryl. I know her and Busy have had conversations, and I know they've worked it out. And Busy has asked if I'd be included. I think they have asked if I'd be included, and I have said no. So to answer the question, did Cheryl ever apologize to you? I think she probably wanted to at some point. I do. But I never welcomed the conversation because I always wanted to keep it very separate. Busy had a pre-existing kind of relationship where he knew her before. I didn't. I don't need it. Or just hearing from Busy, like, Cheryl doesn't hate you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. She can not like me. I don't care, but just the way they were coming after us was weird for a while. And that's what we didn't like. So, no, I never got a formal apology, but I also wouldn't, had she had sent me a DM, I know I would have read it, but I'm never open to talking to Cheryl. And that's nothing against Cheryl. It's just that we don't have anything to talk about. And yeah, it's just how it is. I don't know if that makes sense. But so Bethy says, you made me so happy when you started doing this because I was finally not the only one with a little secret of watching this trash. I know, Bethy, I feel like you're one of the few in the beginning that like pushed us in this direction. Am I correct? Okay. Yeah, we've never been Team Hag. We've never been Team any of these people. Gross. Holly White doesn't consider herself Black. She's biracial. She said, including many races. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I saw Krusty there. Way to go, Krusty. I feel like Krusty always has really good things to say. I enjoy listening to Krusty. Let's say you guys are making hits after hits during early covert. If me and Busy really wanted to, we could have made so much money off this that we didn't, because we tried to keep a healthy balance and boundary, and we have real lives and things. So we could have, with All About the Tea, especially, we could have done so much more. I mean, people were making, oh my God, in spades. I liked how it kind of came to that shady where it was like Cheryl and Perry then talking to other POCs about, other Black people, other African Americans, discussing their feelings about JY and how he's impacting their community. I like that it kind of turned into that. But I just wish that wouldn't have happened with Sunny, because she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve it. Oh my God, I know, the lying birch. I mean, that was the best Cheryl moment of my life. Jolene's a fucking lying birch. And I was like, oh, and she meant, bitch, but it turned into birch. And who doesn't love a birch tree? Nana's got birch tree art hung in her house. And then I got a tree sponsorship. It was just so perfect. So everything that happened. And that's fine. And I wish the best for them. And I think it's horrendous that JY would even bring up Cheryl's son. I think that's horrible, and imply that this young man has any kind of, is gross. Her son who's in college, like, leave him alone. Have you seen her son? He's adorable. And he's like, oh my God, killing it at life compared to JY. JY, you're a loser. Quit talking about people's kids. Okay. Yeah, I saw her answer, and I think it's probably because she's, in her eyes, she's probably like, oh, I wanted to. I told Busy. I did, but I'd never welcomed a conversation ever. I just didn't want to cross that line of, I'm just not open to that. People, they all message me. I just don't, that's not what I got into it for. I got into it as a spectator. I never wanted to be a player in this. Gross. It was to spectate and commentate and parody. That's it. I'm not going to be online yelling at people. That's just not. Can I yell at people? Oh yeah. But also embarrassing. It's too embarrassing. That's what I felt for Sunny, because I could tell she was like, oh, I'm embarrassed. Sunny's like, I don't think Sunny's going to want to yell at people. Abort mission. Oh, you were? Okay. I was 100 for it the entire time, except when Busy went up. Oh yes, MJ. Oh my God, that gave me a heart. Busy's always, that's Busy's personality versus my personality. He pushes the line of it. When he popped up on JY's panel, and he told people put bees in the chat, and the brown finger Kajwai was like, "Why are there these bees in the chat?" Oh my God, I just snorted, because he had no idea. And all these people put bees for Busy in the chat. And I was mortified, because I'm like, oh my God, we are crossing lines. I want to be able to like parody these people without, I don't want to make friendships. I don't want to feel any way toward these people other than I'm watching and just the natural reaction. I don't want to be like, well, I'm kind of partial to this one. This one's nice, And obviously, human nature, you soften a little towards maybe one more than the other. Not a lot with these characters, but you know what I mean. There's no. Oh my God, Bridge to Nowhere. Like we wouldn't have Lying Birch if it wasn't. I do need to wrench. I don't even know if Realification wants to be wrenched up, but I'm gonna wrench her up. Let's see. I'm gonna wrench you up, Real. Oh my God, Realification. I got your okay, I just modded you. I got the beads you sent me. I adore them. The kids were so excited. So Realification sent me B like charms, and then B beads, And then some twine came with it, but I also have my other bracelet stuff. So it's just like, I cannot wait to make bracelets or whatever I'm going to make. I know I'm going to make bracelets, but I think I can make other stuff with these beads. They're awesome. Thank you so much. I know I have to check my P.O. box, you guys, because you guys have sent me stuff and I appreciate it so much. So embarrassing when people play those. Yes, right? And I never wanted to be like, look, so that's why you never hear these people go, well, Joleen, you said this to me. Because I didn't say it, because I don't get back to you. There's very few of them I actually ever replied to. And it's mostly like side BB characters, you know? Main ones, I don't think so. And I didn't want that like back and forth. I'm not a flip-flopper by nature. I am horribly loyal. I say that because sometimes I'm loyal to a fault. You know, again, it's my Aquarius nature. Loyalty is important to me. Trust is very important to me in relationships. So I just can't go friending everybody and stuff. So I never wanted it where, you know, they're always like, well, you said this to me, and then you said this, and here's my DM of you. Like, I got DMs from all these idiots to me, you know, like Anne Graham. I respect you, Joleen. You're such a good person. Me Lucky Charms likes them. You're so good. I wear the cold shoulder shirts as a representation of how strong I think your shoulders are. You're a very big Midwestern strong farm girl. Thank you so much. I don't know what that accent is, but it's Anne Graham, you know. She was like, I respect you, Joleen. You're the best. You're so nice. You're so smart. Oh, God, I hate John Yates. He's posted pictures of my deceased mother. It was a desecration. I got wrapped up in that. I won't make that mistake twice. And now look where she's at. So embarrassing. Someone left a comment saying, I think Anne is trying to be the cool grandma like Nana, but she is. You can, oh my God. She did watch me and Nana a lot and closely. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's trying to pick up little Nana-isms. But you can't replicate Nana, Anne, with your problematic ass. Oh, they self-righteous. Her and Maria are just, ugh. The way they're, you know, just like, everybody show some grace towards the John Yates, okay? Show some grace. Even though I had a restraining order against him, and even though he called me a 7-year stalker, okay? Yeah, me Lucky Charms. Oh, so reunification. You know what, Geneva? I can wrench you up, and I'm gonna wrench you up because you are super supportive and super cool. My Reddit peeps, I never thought like Reddit. My husband used to freaking go on Reddit all the time, and I would go, I still don't really understand Reddit as much as like, I still don't know how to change my name. I don't know how to change my little avatar. I got the name I came with. All I do is like stuff. I think I posted once, twice. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, but my husband would be on Reddit all the time, like, Reddit's the best. And I'd be like, okay, Reddit, weird cult. And now I'm like checking Reddit, like, wow, because I don't want to have to watch all these things if I don't have to. So I'm like, well, what's Reddit saying? Well, they say that this is okay. Well, I better check it out. You know, now I'm on Reddit. Oh my God, I got on the Johnny Depp Reddit and also the Johnny Depp fan and the Johnny Depp delusion because I want to hear both sides. Okay, the people who are like, people are deluded. Amber Heard isn't that bad, and the people who are like, no, Amber Heard's the worst. You know, I like to see what's going down, and I would follow the bottom feeders of YouTube. That one, they don't update regularly all the time. Oh, I follow the 90 Days on the Crackers. I follow the Evil Twin one. They got one. Squirrel's got one now. I think I follow that one. All of them, I think. I didn't know Amber had one. I got a Scamber one. So yeah. Oh my God, you can just hear and shame on you, Joleen. Shame on you, Joleen. Shame on you. Shame on you. You gotta be more like my friend Maria from Miami. Okay? Have you ever written a check for more than the check's worth and then cashed it at another bank for more than you had in your account? Then you don't know what it's like to be a friend. I don't know. I was trying to follow that too when they were explaining Maria's previous crimes. And she was like, no. And then, of course, something horrific happened to her. No one can just say, I fucked up. I did. I fucked up. I did. I was grifting banks. You know, no one can say it. Carrie May says, I tried to comment and realized I was unsubbed. Oh, Carrie. My ADHD has went through about 148, has went through about 148 or 148. Things I wanted to say the last 10 minutes, but can't remember any of them. So I hope your household gets better. Thank you, Carrie May. That's so sweet of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome. Thank you guys for subbing. I think we hit 1,200 on my little blog site. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get monetized. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. No wrench for me. I'm not as nice as you mods. Okay. Well, I already wrenched you, Real, so you just keep it. Just have fun with it. Notification. You just don't use the name on Reddit. On the Reddit, yeah. Don't forget to take multiple draws. Oh my God, what is with these ladies? Like everybody. There was a new lady, like some Rebecca or something. And oh my God, I was like, what are these young women doing? When I was younger, and I'm not super old, I'm 42, but when I was younger, this woman looks to be in her early 30s, I think, I don't know. I was not doing this. I'll tell you that. Okay. See, where is your social life? I mean, I do know it's COVID and stuff, but there gotta be something else going on. I just think millennials should not, younger millennials shouldn't be involved in this, so, yeah. Oh my God. That's another one. Ooh. No, this is a serious channel about mental health. My Cash App is at the bottom. If you could send me Jolly Ranchers that are pre-licked in cash, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's also about beavers. I have a beaver cam. When we get a customer, I say, we got a customer, and then I show beavers. That's what I do. And then I talk about my friend who's on crack, who can't work. And we raise money for him. So that's what this channel is about. But thank you for joining. Oh my God, the Rebecca girl who cut the camera. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cherry, please, Cherry. Please, Cherry. Thank you. Thank you, fucking Glow Key. Yes, I like your name. Yes. IDKJY accused Perry of grape. Oh my God. And threatened to find their kids. Oh my God. They're after JY. Okay, so that was my point. Cheryl has never been out of this. So that's the part that I think a little differently than Jess. If Cheryl's been watching on set, you think Cheryl's going to let this dude get away with all the stuff he's got away with? You think she hasn't been paying attention? She's got eyes and ears and Andreas in every corner, okay? So she's been waiting to come back in to the fight. She's never really been out of it. Do I wish she would have started a petition? Sure, that would have been cool. But, she didn't. Danny did. So there you go. But, there are a lot of people, JY was able to get away with his racism, misogyny, all this stuff for a long time because he had women co-signing it. And that's what me and Busy, back in the day, last year, we're calling out with Cheryl before they broke up again. Like, girl, he's lying to you. He's just saying stuff to you. It's a bad look. He's bringing your channel down. But I always thought there's got to be a reason for Cheryl going back with him. There's got to be, she's going to use him for something with court. And it looked like, she kind of did. I was just like, there's got to be some kind of payback thing going on. So I don't think she's ever been out of it. I think JY is going to pay for the things he did to her. I don't think she's not going to forget. And she's not going to, Okay. And all these people now want to help Amber and stuff. So she's like, hell to the yeah. And it just works for her. But I don't think she just disappeared and came back. I think she's always was on the peripheral. Like, okay, my time to strike. You can only have so many lawsuits at once. Yeah. They've already been to court, allegedly. Oh, you said you were going to take it straight to Reddit. I think some people do use their names. Obviously, it doesn't matter with me. If someone knew my Reddit name, it wouldn't really matter. I don't post anything, The beaver comment took me out. Fun fact. Fun fact. Allegedly, in your opinion, that was the first animal I hit when I started. Oh, no, not the beaver. Oh, well, at least you didn't hit your own beaver. I cried the whole way home while my dad called me a baby. Fun fact, when I first started driving, the first thing that was a hit was my beaver. Okay. I'll be here all night. But yeah, then you have back seats and you find out all kinds of stuff. That's really fun. A few months ago, I saw arguments about whose petition. I know I saw that too, and who shouldn't be signed. I just think all this stuff, it distracts from the main issue. I remember that because I think it was some lady, what was her name? Hear her or something, and they just couldn't get on the same page about it. And I'm like, what are we doing? Come on. But I don't know. I don't know the history there. Okay. He sad fish cancer. I don't know. I don't know if I believe. I'm a skeptic. That's how I am. I don't know. The first story was they both had COVID. That was the first one. I don't know if you guys remember. The first with Cheryl and JY was she was getting over COVID, or she had COVID. I heard he had COVID. Someone reached out about COVID, and then the cancer thing came up. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what the draw was. Was it a genuine friendship? Maybe. I don't know. I never understood it because I'm like, what do you need him for? What do you need him for? And we've seen, some actions in the past where we're like, huh? Okay. She gives a lot of second chances. A point is bringing all that up. But now it didn't help things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But I don't think it is Sunny's job to answer for someone she interviewed who brought it up later. Again, the beginning one, I can almost guarantee you that was about Heidi Black. So she wasn't saying nothing about me and Cheryl. She was just saying that Cheryl jumped on later or whatever. So, yeah, I say question everything. I'm like Tupac, question everything. Trust no one, question everything. Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, that's horrible. I'm sorry, Sly, that's horrible. This guy, he just when you think he can't go lower, he goes lower. That's what I felt. That's what I felt today. I was going to lead up to, and I hope it doesn't, because then JY wins again. Yeah. Don't let it divide. If Cheryl and Perry or anybody, watches this, or Andrea or someone talks to them, I would say just squash it with Sunny. She didn't have any ill intention. I can't speak to the stuff about being a Black creator and speaking on other Black creators. That's not my place to speak on. But the only thing I can say is I don't think Jess early on was talking about Cheryl. I think it was definitely Heidi Black. And I think Sunny does not want any drama with you guys, and there's no need. She's not a bad person. JY's the bad person. I have a 21-year-old reminder. I feel like Momo right now, because she did that chat by herself. She was like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. She doesn't highlight comments really. She just goes and reads them. She's like, Perry stream, yeah, exactly. She just reads it like that. It's so annoying. And I noticed that the chat wasn't. Just don't go down this road. It seems like the road they went down with JY, where their chats. Like Busy said, everybody loves Busy and Joleen. I know people hate it, but they do. At some time or another, I think Busy said it on our last live. People have been in and out of this terminal, these doors. They like us. We're very lovable people. Hello. Blame our parents. Blame our mothers. Okay. But we're very lovable. We're lovable, huggable type of YouTubers, type of guys. Okay. And so that's why when that was going down before, people would be in the comments really having me and Busy's back. People you wouldn't even expect. Obviously there's people that dislike us, hags. Ooh, they really hate us. Like the woodworker Maria, the other Maria who lives in the RV. That one is just a mess. Someone needs to, oh my God. I don't know what they would do, but you can't talk any sense to her, I still didn't see any of Perry. I didn't see any reason for Perry to do that live and bring attention to the past. Yeah. I think if he wouldn't have brought it up, I don't think people would have talked about it. I think if people would have talked about it, or if this is something that Jess was like channel hopping saying, then maybe he could bring it up, but I don't think there's a reason, I wonder who the mole in their group is, Renee said, because I think everything about JY leaked on YouTube, right? He wants it to leak. He's so stupid. The issue with JY isn't just about Black content creator. He had disrespect to lots of, yes, and I think they totally agree with you on that. I just think there's a different level when it's racism, especially against Black Americans, and you have this white guy who just loves Trump and is an idiot out there touting, saying the N-word. It's just, it's on a different level that, I don't know everyone's ethnicity and race in this chat, but as a white person, I can't understand what that must feel like and do to them to have, because here's the thing, I was thinking about this the other day. So you have the cottage boy and you have Chody. And the sad thing about racism in America is you can have these two, loser, lowlife, done nothing with themselves. I mean, literally has alleged diplomas stacked on his wall from the ceiling to the floor, which is not how you hang things, and also weird, in a dilapidated cottage, thinking that they are somehow better than these Black content creators. Like, if you think about it, why would JY ever think he was better than Busy Blue? Is he more attractive than him? No. Is he younger and smarter than him? No. Is he more educated than him? No. Is he more successful than him? No. Is he more well-spoken than him? No. Is he more well-read? No. Does he have a more successful relationship? No. But the mere fact that Busy's Black, it just, from his previous racism and comments, makes the way they talk about like AT2 and stuff, the way they talk about Black content creators, it's like, bro, you're literally Dungeons and Dragons right now. Like, you are in the gutter, okay? The gutter. And you somehow still think, and the way he talks about Black content creators is different. The way he talks about me versus the way he talks about Busy. He knows he's not better than me. But he truly, honestly thinks he's better than Busy. And it's this sick racism that still, because he'll still do these very racist voices and accents, and this slave master lingo in order to put Busy down. Busy, a handsome, smart, sensitive, in a great relationship. Did I mention handsome? Howard graduate. Works in a profession where he's bettering the world, literally. And he thinks that he's better than Busy, like Busy, some kind of lowlife. It's baffling. And it can only be explained through racism. Yes. And his fixation on children and women's body parts. I mean, the amount of body parts he's spoken about with women and about our reproduction and all kinds of things. It's like, bro, ugh, gross. You're so gross. Yes, his fingernail is like freaking brown. He's got a brown fingernail. Come on. Never a day in his life. Never be better than 82. Never be better than anybody he talks about. Maybe Mod 148. I don't know. But just the way he speaks, I'm like, that's a racist. That's American racism. That is. Whites are fed. We are literally conditioned to believe that we are somehow the standard. And you can say, no, that's not true. It is true. That's the whole, reading White Fragility and stuff. It's like these things that you don't even realize until you really take a deep dive into your psyche and you sit down and you think, yeah, we are. This conditioned to believe that this is like the right. This is what an American looks like. This is what a family looks like. This is, all of our products are in the store because we are the majority, And so, but racist people take that and they run with it and become racist. And then people who don't want to be racist take that and dissect it and go, yeah, where is my place in the world? How do I look at things differently? And how is it set up for me in ways it's not set up for other people? And that's the basis of white privilege. People always want to dumb it down and go, well, I wasn't born with any more money than anyone else. Well, white privilege doesn't equate money. We say it all the time. The most basic example I can give you is if you're a white person and you've went to a store and you've always found yourself represented in hair products. You've always found your shade of makeup. You've always seen yourself represented in media and in, the occupation you want to be a part of. It's never been a question. You've mostly been in the majority. That's a privilege. It's a privilege you've received. I don't know. Hey, Cups. Thank you, Joleen. I love how you speak for Black creators. Much respect for continuing to speak up and out for people of color. Oh, that's so nice of you, Cups. Thank you so much. Do you know what? I know he has a brown thumb. There's like a brown thumb now. Jeez, where is the soap? Where is the dial? I mean, I take it these guys are bar soap guys. Okay? But just scrape your nails against it. Get it up and under there, Yeah, gross. Gross. Oh, seriously. They were raised in racist little white bubbles. They can't accept the real world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. That's like the color. People are like, I'm colorblind. No, you're not. Again, I never have been to the hairstylist and been like, and they're like, what color do you want? I don't know. I don't see color. What do you want? Blonde? What's that? Brunette? Don't know. Do you want black hair? I don't know. Red? Is that a thing? Like, I can't see it. I can't see it. What color's your top? I don't know. I don't see color. I don't see color. Color your eyes? I don't know. I don't see that. Then you wouldn't see any of that. It's just so stupid. This is a way for white people to feel better about themselves. To say, I don't see color. Just accept certain things and just want to be better. Inherently, we're just conditioned, in this world, or in this country, I should say, with these certain false beliefs and these certain privileges. And it only benefits society as a whole to recognize them. I don't know. If you are so trying to protect your white privilege or trying to protect this fact, like, what are you scared of? What are you afraid of letting go and recognizing in your life? Because there's a whole population of people who are telling you the scales are not fair and they are tilted. And they have a very different experience than you do. And you're just going to dismiss them because it makes you feel icky or uncomfortable. That, to me, I don't know. I've always been, I don't know. I just always wanted to understand more and know more and ask questions and dig deeper, which is probably why I get into watching and dissecting and parroting things like this. I know there's a brown thumb. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Antibacterial much, right? Not even Dawn could take the grime out of that. Yes. Shady. Yes. That is the vibe I get from JY2. His mindset is very, I'm better than you and you, but especially you. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Ness. Nailed it. Town of Seaside Heights, 80.74% white, 6.69% Black or African American. And I love how he was like, and the cops pulled their guns, and then the cops were like, we didn't pull our guns on the window, and no one saw any guns pulled, and it's just one lie after another for the grift. It's just a giant cash grab. Whatever you got to do to get your fix, pay your rent, and not work. Whatever, by any means necessary for that shit, And I love how he's like, we were terrified of the police. Miss me with that. Excuse me, sir. Chody has been on live after live going, I give them half-cooked hot dogs, and they come in, they know us. You guys just got done playing cops, bad boys, running down your street with your phone to capture a drunk driver. For someone who feels bullied and doesn't want to be exposed, you sure do love exposing people, and he felt so comfortable and confident. Again, there's white privilege right there. He ran toward the police like, hello, save me. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to work with you again. I've come to bother you again. Hi, police. And every time the cops come, you can hear Chody like, thanks, guys. Thanks. He's got his typical white dude voice on, his ass kisser voice. Like, you guys work so hard. It's like, do they work so hard when they arrest you or when they arrest you again? Because you got a record, Codester. But he puts on that like, man, you guys are really doing your work. Because they're really, and they don't feel that way. They're just ass lickers when it comes to that, But he ran towards the police like, hello, friends. I can tell that we are going to be friends, and ask the average Black American if they ever run to police officers. No. Yeah, they get giddy. They get giddy. The only medication you received from the hospital was a topical. I know, seriously. When I got out of the hospital in 2008, they gave me, what was the first thing I was on? So diagnosed with bipolar 2. I was there for 24 hours. They gave me Seroquel, which knocked me on my ass. I hated it. I gained a bunch of weight. And well, I mean, that's my superpower. I can gain weight on anything, whether it be the Atkins diet, whether it be keto, which is basically the same thing, just new generation. I was a vegan once for like 40 or 60 days and I gained weight. So Seroquel, which knocked me out, and they gave me, what was the thing I was on for bipolar 2? I can't remember. But I got a couple things. So, sir, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true, Judge Judy. You know, probably not true. Let's see. The cup says, definitely don't. Yeah, we're not running toward police. Cody's hoping to see Hot Cop again. Oh, yeah, he's lusty. That's why he pulled up in his saggy drawers, his droopy drawers, and he was like, "It's a problem, officers. Who wants to see my moose knuckle? Ah, I can fit my balls in my own bunghole." You know, it's just like, can you imagine Cody's tricks he has? I haven't washed my hands in 2 years. Want to see things moving in my nails? I mean, I can't even. You can unmod me. It didn't work. It wouldn't let me put Renee in a timeout. Who's making assumptions? What are you guys talking about? No one better be fighting. I'll be mad. If anyone fights, you get blocked. Blocked, I tell you. Blocked. Oh my gosh. Not Wellbutrin. Seroquel. Right? Seroquel will make you gain weight faster. So if you're looking to put on weight, get some and sleep a lot, get some Seroquel. Now I know people that were on Seroquel that got, used to it and then were able to function. I don't know how. I was sleeping like 16 hours. Waking up in a haze, like, is my boyfriend cheating on me or is he just being nice and creating this hot girl named Valerie in community college's art website? I'm pretty sure he's cheating on me, but maybe he's just nice. I don't know. I better go back to bed. Like, I woke up in a daze and I'd see my boyfriend at the time, who was just a bunghole, working on a website of like this hot girl that he ended up cheating on me with. But I'd be like, what are you doing? Oh, I was helping. I'm like, you could help me. I feel like I want to die, because I had the suicidal, I didn't have a suicide attempt. I just had suicidal ideations. And I had told my therapist at the time because they were getting stronger and stronger. And so I told her, and she recommended I check myself in, and I did. I wanted to get better. I wanted anything. I didn't want to feel this way anymore. And I'm glad I guess I'm glad I went. They ended up right away being like, the next day, once the psychiatrist could get there, was like, okay, you're definitely outpatient. And I right away when I was in there, I mean, it was heartbreaking to see. I didn't know the scale of mental health or mental illness, but there were some people who, beautiful people who just, they're suffering so bad. And I was like, okay, I understand. It almost, gross to say, but it put it on the in perspective for me that, like, oh God, I'm actually lucky, I guess, where I'm at, which is weird to say, because some people are very, very, very ill and can't leave this place. And in the weirdest part, I mean, there's so many funny moments that I still want to talk about and stand up about it, but and I've tried here and there, but I think there's so much about I remember, and there's so much about I don't remember because it was so long ago. But I do remember that all the other people there kept thinking I was one of the doctors, and they'd ask me for meds. And I was like, oh my God, this is the only place that anyone's ever assumed I was a doctor. I never want to leave, But, little things like that I do remember. And, but right away, they're like, outpatient. And then I got short-term leave from my, job at the time. And it just was a complete turning point in my life. And then I was about to turn, well, this was probably like October, November 2008. And then by February, my birthday, I was about to turn 29. I'm like, I'm about to be 30. I just was coming to grips with so many things and, trying to get my mental health together. And I was like, it's now or never. I was just at my lowest. And I remember going back home and being with Nana. And it was right after the holidays. And I had this massive zit on my face. My friend Annie's about to have her birthday because her birthday's in early January. And at that time, you're 28, your friends are still having parties. I had this huge zit on my chin. My birthday's coming up in February. At the time, Annie was having a birthday party and she was going to a stand-up comedy show, you guys. And where do you want to be less when you are mentally ill on short-term leave from your job and just spent 24 hours in like a mental institution at a stand-up comedy show? And I'd always wanted to do stand-up, but I was just like so much anxiety, so much fear in my life to try it, but I didn't want to be there, But it's amazing how many people I've met through the years of stand-up comedy and how many therapists have told me they have recommended, especially couples that are in couples therapy that are struggling, go on date night and they pick stand-up comedy. So if I ever see a couple in the front row with their arms crossed, not having fun, I think, oh, they must have had a horrible fight and they must be in couples counseling with something really bad. Because my therapist at the time told me a story about a couple that was just really bad off and they would go to stand-up comedy together. And so now it's like, it's not me. It's not that I'm not funny. It's that their relationship is falling apart at the seams. That's much easier for me to take. So I'm back home. All my friends are going to my friend Annie's birthday party. I'm living in Arizona at the time. I'm back in Minnesota. Most people know I'm not killing it mentally, and my mom, Nana's like, you're going to this. And she goes with me. And then before we go, like a day before we go, I think, we go to Walgreens and I had seen an infomercial for this thing that's supposed to get rid of your acne. Like if you have a big zit, it's like this thing you put on it and like sucks. I don't know what it does. It started with Z, I think. I forget. So I'm sure Renee will remember because Renee always knows these little facts when I don't know, when I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. So I had her buy me this contraption that was supposed to shrink my zit in a day so I wouldn't have the zit for the birthday party at the comedy club. It didn't work, but it was like $100. It was like $50 or $100, something ridiculous. Okay, so Nana buys it. So me and Nana, because Nana, of course, it's girlfriends, my friend Annie and my girlfriends I've had forever back home in Minnesota. And we're at this comedy show, and it is just hell because I'm depressed. I'm trying my best. Nana's there. My friends are there. They're all drinking. They're having a good time. This is before I quit drinking. I don't even know if I was drinking at the time, just because I was on so many, mental health drugs. But so I'm there. I probably was drinking. Yeah, I was probably having a couple cocktails, okay, a couple beers, a couple brewskis. And I remember there's an opener. Okay. Then there's this feature, and this feature is this tall, really funny, quirky girl. And I just looked at her, and she was so full of life. And she was just so, I was like, oh, she was younger than me. Probably, I didn't know by how much, maybe like 10 years, 8 years, She was full of life. She was up there doing the thing I'd wanted to do my whole life, but was too scared to do. And I'm sitting in the audience, depressed to the point at 28 years old, where I'm back home visiting my mom. My mom has to come out with me to this comedy show because I'm just like, so depressed. And there's this girl up there just like doing these funny, quirky jokes. And she just looks so happy and young. And I'm like, why can't that be me? Like, what's wrong with me? And then the headliner gets on, and he is this old guy, and he's just a hack, like doing just hack material, like wives suck, and here's wine, blah, blah, blue, And then afterwards, we go to the bar area, and then the headliner's out there, and I don't know anything about comedy yet, and that's what headliners do, Sometimes some of these guys are on the road constantly. They go out to the bar, like, oh, buy me a drink, and we're like, you suck. But we didn't say that. We were nice, Minnesota nice, nice enough, but cutting and passive aggressive. And I remember going home that night and my friends turning to me during the show and being like, you should do that. Why don't you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I should do that. But I literally want to turn my car in front of traffic right now. So I can't. Okay. And I remember going back home to my parents' house and thinking, when you get back to Arizona, you are signing out. You are finding a comedy something. You're going to go to an open mic. I don't know how to start comedy, but you're just going to do it. And I did. I went back. I Googled stand-up comedy in Arizona. I found a class with this guy, and I started sketch comedy first, did a couple sketch shows, and then I went into stand-up comedy, and the rest is history. And fun fact, years later, go back to Minnesota right before I moved to LA. Me and Chell went to Arizona, or I'm sorry, went back to Minnesota right before we moved to Los Angeles. And we decided we wanted to like live a year in Minnesota, do the stand-up comedy thing there. And I meet the girl that performed on the show that I had seen. Now this is fast forward. So that was 2008 when I saw her. Fast forward 2012. So 4 years. I meet the same girl I saw at that show. We become friends. She moves to Los Angeles with her husband weeks before me and Chell move. We become better friends once we move to LA. Her name's Andy Erickson. We end up starting the Deal With It podcast together. And Andy and I are still friends to this day. She's lovely. You guys might remember her. She was a finalist on Last Comic Standing, the last season they did, which was, 2014 or something. Look her up. She's great. She's silly. She loves squirrels. Don't hold that against her. It's not in a weird way like the other lady. Andy's like a really quirky, wonderful, wonderful gal. And we end up having this great project and doing this great podcast where we talk about mental health and chronic health because she was born with Marfan syndrome. And so I talk about the mental health side. She talks about the physical health side. And it's so crazy. And we just become fast friends. And yeah. So it's just like the universe always figures it out. It always happens the way it's supposed to happen kind of thing. I'm not like, it is what it is, or but it is funny how life will get you there, So like at my lowest, I was like, I can't, it almost pushed me to be like, I'm gonna do this now because I can't get any lower than this. And so I just took that, and I met my husband that way. I mean, I got out of that toxic relationship I was in. I met Chell in the stand-up comedy class. I mean, I got so much. That's why stand-up comedy, I'll always say, like, saved my life. It just saved my life. Arizona saved my life, and stand-up comedy saved my life. Had I never left the Midwest, I don't know what I don't think I would break patterns and cycles of behavior. I don't think I would break cycles of addiction. So I'm so grateful. I started comedy in Arizona. I met my husband in Arizona. I got sober in Arizona. It is a weird red state that I don't always understand, but I have so much love for the desert for that reason. So now being back in the desert with Chell is just something so beautiful. I hate the heat. I don't like weird bugs. I don't love desert creatures, but there's just something so magical about the desert because it brought me to all the things I love, So yeah, full circle moment, right? Oh, we're getting deep. We're getting deep. Yeah, so when people rip on AZ and I'm like, oh no, I got my own, things about Arizona I don't like, but it's just so beautiful. You can have so many different, you can be in Sedona, Flagstaff, which I heard is like on fire right now. My husband was telling me I've been so out of it with COVID and the kids here. But like the Grand Canyon, I mean, Jerome, it's just, if I could live anywhere, I'd probably live in Sedona. It's so freaking beautiful. Thanks, Carrie Mae. That's pretty impressive and strong to be in that place and actually follow through and changing your life like that. Also a pretty serendipitous ending, right? It's just weird, but I love it. Yes, desert rats unite. I never thought I'd love the desert, but I honestly told my husband the other day, I'm like, I could live out here. I can never say forever because my biggest fear is feeling stuck and not being able to like get out of something, or I just don't like that feeling. But so I envy people that can say I could live here forever. But sometimes I think I could live out here. But who knows, It's a testimony. Yes. Hope you feel better, Queen. I have a cold from being a hooker last week. But if negative thing, oh, Ricky Bobby, I'm so glad you were able to hook it out and not get the vid. Good job. Thank you for wishing me better. Nice that how I never came in contact with scorpion mice. Oh my God. The NAU, oh no. Oh my goodness. It's hot. Desert is hot. Yes. Oh my gosh. All right. And on that note, since we gave a testimony, we cleared up some confusion. Share it with your friends. I will go to bed and get up early and play Munty duty and work. But this was fun. I've missed talking to you guys. Please don't forget to smash that like. Thank you for subscribing. We are well on our way to monetization, and we'll have a little get together, So you do it, you hook for free. Who doesn't? Yes, Arizona has the prettiest sunsets. I used to live in South Scottsdale on Camelback, and what was the cross street? Hayden, Camelback. Do they run? In this old apartment building. It was pretty nice, like Scottsdale Sorrento or something. And I had a patio that looked out towards Camelback Mountain, which is gorgeous. And I just thought, oh, I'm so fancy. I would sit out on I called it my Arizona room. And because it's just an extra room in Arizona, my patio, and just look at Camelback, just be like, God, this is the life. This is the life. So I know I don't want to overdo it. And now with chill with COVID, oh, we'll see. We'll see. It is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay. Good night, everyone. I don't have an outro for this channel, so I'm just going to end the live, but don't forget to comment even after a post. It helps me in that crazy algorithm. And I hope you all take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you all really soon. Bye.